The mission of PM Trades is we function as the executive agent for Marine Corps Systems Command, and we primarily focus on the ground training systems. NavAir performs the role of managing all of our aviation training systems. We've been down here since 2001 timeframe. We grew the workforce approximately from 20 individuals back in 2001 to where we currently sit at 170 folks. We are broken up and structured into 3 product management teams, which are synthetic training systems that focus on both collective and individual training systems. They do all the constructive as well as virtuals. On the ranges side, we have range training systems, which support 1,400 range training areas throughout the Marine Corps, of which 175 of those are instrumented. And then we don't have a depot level maintenance, so we have to award sustainment contracts. So we have 10 contracted logistics support contracts that do everything from sustaining the virtual training systems, supporting with services such as role player support, and basically we provide training continuum across the Marine Corps enterprise from the time a young Marine gets on the yellow footprints at Parris Island all throughout their career until they exit the Marine Corps. So when I got back, because I was fortunate enough to be down here in 2015 through 2017 as the Deputy Program Manager, and then I went on a fellowship to Georgia Power Company, Secretary of Defense Executive Fellowship. As I took over the PM, there was a lot of new authorities granted to the acquisition, DoD acquisition. So I wanted to make sure that our team was prepared to take advantage of those authorities. So professional growth and development of the workforce was initially my priority. Then I had 2 other priorities, which was grow the workforce, because we were going to be getting a lot of new requirements coming down from our requirement sponsor, Training and Education Command. And then lastly was improving the acquisition velocity. And what I mean by that is we restructured how we did contracting within the organization and try to make our contracts more broad so that we could we utilize multiple award task order type contracts where we could compete task orders and get capability out to the warfighters as soon as possible. I think we've found success in all 3 because the workforce is obviously executing to those things. We were the first program office in the Department of the Navy to, specifically in the Force on Force Training Systems NACS, to utilize other transaction authorities to do rapid prototyping. And then that led to a production contract that was over $100 million, which had to get approval from the Assistant Secretary of the Navy at Research, Development, and Acquisition, RD&A. And another significant improvement that we did is we're currently kicked off our live virtual constructive training environment, and we're using the software acquisition pathway to achieve that. So those are 2 things that we were not prepared to do before we implement some of those things. So it ties back to delivering that capability a lot quicker out to the warfighter. I got to tell you, the biggest challenge was working through the pandemic. There's nothing in a playbook that's going to prepare us to do something like that. And going from an organization that's fully in a brick and mortar building, coming into work all the time, and not having the assets to do virtual training and the tools and the collaboration that we lost. So there was a little bit of a slip in schedule when that affected us, but then we were able to get the collaboration tools, Microsoft Teams, et cetera, to be able to continue to work. But then we started experiencing a lot of supply chain issues, cost growth that we didn't plan for in our contracts to be able to deliver that capability out to the warfighter. I got to tell you, the Team Orlando concept as you know, it's very collaborative. There's no J in anything we do. And what I mean by J is joint, right? So it's not a joint program office, but we collaborate, we communicate, we leverage from each other as much as possible, specifically across both my ranges team and my synthetic team. We're always collaborating with the Army. Just most recently, we kicked off our live virtual constructive training environment. We had a huge development conference. We had over 155 participants, and we were able to host that at the Tech Grove just to get everybody level set as to what LVCT TE is going to deliver to the warfighter in the next 12 months using that software acquisition pathway that we just talked about, utilizing agile software development and agile program management. Okay, so I'm an avid cyclist. I do a lot of road biking. I try to cycle about 3 to 4 times a week. I am part of the Seminole Cyclists cycling group. And what I like is that their motto is, "We build strong riders." And it closely aligns to our Marine Corps culture when it comes to that. So I'm always cycling. We do about 120 to 150 miles a week.